You sat through the entire meeting trying to look steady, but the moment she said your name, that moment when everyone's face turned toward you with the same clinical curiosity, you felt your center collapse. The room didn't change, but you did. Something inside you split open, and suddenly you were watching yourself from the ceiling, seeing how small you looked, how exposed, how wrong. And you know what's worse than being criticized in front of 15 people? It's that you still don't know if she was right. You've been replaying her words for 3 hours now, and with each replay, your position shifts. First, you were angry. Then you were ashamed. Then you were defiant. Then you were apologetic. You've tried on every possible reaction like clothing, and none of them fit because you don't actually know what you believe. You're waiting for the room to tell you. That's the exhaustion no one talks about. Not the criticism itself, but the endless oscillation afterward. The way you rehearse your defense in the shower, then immediately abandon it because maybe she had a point. The way you draft an email explaining yourself, delete it, draft it again, delete it again. The way you lie in bed at night, running through alternate versions of the meeting where you said the perfect thing, had the perfect posture, earned the perfect respect. But morning comes, and you still don't know what the truth was. Pause before this gets heavier. Hit subscribe, because this isn't a single lesson, it's a continuous descent. Each episode is another layer, another wound exposed, another truth you've been avoiding. You'll need the full journey. Don't lose the thread, because you've built your stability on the most unstable foundation available, other people's faces. You measure yourself by the temperature of the room. You believe what you believe based on who's nodding and who's frowning, and when those signals conflict, you don't have a center to return to. You just spin and spin, and the spinning feels like thinking, but it's not. It's panic pretending to be analysis. You want peace, but you keep looking for it in the last place it could ever exist, in the verdict of people who are just as confused as you are, just better at hiding it. And so you stay trapped in this endless negotiation with the room, with the faces, with the voices, adjusting yourself again and again and again, never quite landing, never quite sure, never quite still. Seneca wrote about the people who can't stop shifting. They reject something one day, accept it the next. They stand firm in a belief until someone questions it, then immediately doubt everything they thought they knew. They live in a constant state of revision, not because new evidence appears, but because their judgment has no foundation. They're building on sand, and every voice that passes by rearranges the landscape. The problem isn't that they lack intelligence. Most of them are sharp, thoughtful, capable of complex reasoning. The problem is that they've outsourced their judgment. They've made popular opinion the arbiter of truth, and popular opinion is the least reliable guide available. It shifts with mood, with trend, with whoever spoke last and spoke loudest. It has no memory and no principle. It's just a crowd of temporary reactions, and they're trying to navigate their entire life by watching which way the crowd leans. This is what creates the exhaustion you feel. Not the work itself, but the constant recalibration. You make a decision, then second guess it the moment someone raises an eyebrow. You take a position, then abandon it the moment the energy in the room shifts. You think you're being flexible, adaptive, responsive, But what you're actually doing is dissolving. You're letting yourself be rewritten by every voice that carries a little authority or a little volume. And in the process, you're becoming a composite of other people's certainties. You're becoming no one. Tranquility, the kind Seneca talks about, isn't something you achieve by getting everyone to agree with you. It's not the calm that comes from universal approval or from finally being right in a way that silences all objection. That kind of peace doesn't exist. There will always be someone who disagrees, someone who sees it differently, someone who thinks you're wrong. If your stability depends on unanimous validation, you'll spend your entire life oscillating, adjusting, defending, explaining, revising. You'll never land. Real tranquility comes from having a constant and firm power of judgment. Not rigid judgment constant, not arrogant judgment firm. You develop the ability to assess a situation based on principles that don't shift with the room's temperature. You stop measuring truth by the volume of agreement and start measuring it by whether it aligns with what you actually know to be right, what you've tested, what holds up under scrutiny. You stop being a weather vane and become a compass. The wind still blows, but it doesn't reorient you. This doesn't mean you ignore feedback. It doesn't mean you become arrogant or closed off. It means you have a filter. You can receive criticism without immediately adopting it as gospel. You can hear disagreement without interpreting it as proof that you're wrong. You can sit in a room full of frowning faces and still know what you believe, because what you believe isn't contingent on their approval. It's based on something deeper, something tested, something that doesn't evaporate the moment someone challenges it. But you're not there yet. And you know you're not there because of how the meeting felt, because of how you still feel now, hours later running through it again, trying to figure out what you should have said, what you should have believed, what position you should take now. You're still negotiating with the room, even though the room is empty. You're still waiting for the verdict, even though the trial is over. You're still looking outside yourself for the answer that can only come from inside. The meeting room is on the 7th floor, and it smells like coffee that's been sitting too long and air conditioning that's set 2 degrees too cold. There are 15 people around the table, most of them with laptops half open, faces lit from below by screens, and the fluorescent lights above flatten everything into a uniform brightness that makes everyone look slightly unwell. The table is long, fake wood, with a surface that catches fingerprints and reflects the ceiling panels in a way that makes the whole space feel like it's underwater. Caleb is sitting 4 seats from the head of the table, close enough to be included but far enough to avoid scrutiny, or so he thought. He has his notebook open in front of him, a pen resting in the margin, and he's been taking notes for the last 30 minutes, even though he stopped processing the words about 20 minutes ago. His handwriting has gotten progressively smaller, tighter, as if he's trying to compress himself into the page. The presentation on the screen is a deck about Q3 performance metrics. Slide 17. Revenue projections, market penetration, customer acquisition cost. Someone is talking about attribution models, about whether the last touch model is giving an accurate picture or whether they should shift to multi-touch. Caleb isn't sure who's talking anymore because he stopped looking up. He's just writing words, attribution, last touch, model, without connecting them to meaning. Then he hears his name. Not loud, not angry, just clear. Jennifer, the VP of Strategy, says, "Caleb, your team's report last week cited a 15% improvement in engagement. But when we ran the numbers against the actual data set, we're seeing 7%. Can you explain the discrepancy?" The room goes quiet in that specific way rooms go quiet when someone's been called out. Not silent, there's still the hum of the HVAC, the faint clicking of someone's pen, the ambient rustle of fabric and paper, but the human noise stops. The breathing stops. Everyone is listening now, and everyone is looking, and Caleb feels the weight of their attention like a physical pressure on his chest. He looks up. Jennifer is at the head of the table, and her face is neutral, professional, waiting. She's not angry. She's not smiling. She's just asking a question, and somehow that makes it worse, because there's no emotion to push against, no heat to match. Just a calm, reasonable request for an explanation, delivered in front of 15 people who are now all watching to see how he'll respond. Caleb starts, and his voice comes out half a register higher than he intended, so he stops, clears his throat, tries again. "I pulled the numbers from the dashboard on Thursday. The engagement metric showed 15% week over week." Jennifer nods slowly, as if she's considering this, and then says, "The dashboard pulls from preliminary data. The final numbers, which accounting verified yesterday, show 7%. So either your report was premature or you didn't cross-check with the source data." There's no accusation in her tone. She's just stating facts. But facts delivered in front of 15 people carry a weight that facts delivered in private don't. Every face around the table is a mirror now, reflecting back some version of judgment, concern, curiosity, disappointment, relief that it's not them. Caleb can feel himself fragmenting under the collective gaze, splitting into multiple versions of himself, each one trying to figure out the right response. He could defend himself, explain that the dashboard is what everyone uses, that he followed protocol, that the discrepancy isn't his fault. But would that sound defensive? Would it sound like he's deflecting responsibility? He could apologize, take ownership of the mistake, say he should have double-checked. But would that make him look incompetent? Would it confirm that he doesn't know what he's doing? He could ask a clarifying question, try to shift the focus, buy himself time to think. But would that look evasive? Would it make things worse? The room is waiting. 15 faces, 15 separate judgments forming in real time. And Caleb realizes in the second that stretches into something much longer that he has no idea what he actually believes about this situation. He doesn't know if he made a mistake or if the system failed. He doesn't know if he should be defensive or apologetic. He doesn't know what the right response is because he's never developed the ability to know independent of the room's reaction. So he does what he always does. He tries to read the room. He scans the faces quickly, looking for a signal, a nod, a sympathetic look, something to tell him which direction to lean. But the faces are opaque, professional masks, neutral expressions. No help. "I should have verified the source data," he says finally, and his voice is steady now, but only because he's forcing it. "I'll make sure to cross-check going forward." Jennifer nods. "Okay. Just be aware that when we present to the board next month, we need numbers we can defend. Preliminary data doesn't hold up under scrutiny." "Understood," Caleb says. And just like that, it's over. Jennifer moves to the next slide. Someone else starts talking. The meeting continues. But Caleb is still sitting in the moment of exposure, replaying it, reanalyzing it, trying to figure out if he said the right thing, if he handled it well, if he salvaged his credibility or damaged it further. He's running through alternate versions in his mind, what he could have said, what he should have said, what would have sounded more confident, more capable, more right. But here's what he doesn't realize yet. The content of his response doesn't actually matter, because the problem isn't what he said. The problem is that he had to poll the room internally before he could say anything. The problem is that he doesn't have a stable judgment of his own. He's like a satellite dependent on external signals, and when those signals are unclear or contradictory, he just spins in place, trying to triangulate a position from noise. And the noise never stops. The room is always there, always watching, always rendering its silent verdicts. And as long as Caleb keeps measuring himself by the room's reaction, he'll never find peace, because the room doesn't have answers. It just has opinions, and opinions shift like weather. The meeting ends at 3:47 p.m., and Caleb stays in his seat for an extra 30 seconds while people gather laptops and phones and file out. He pretends to write something in his notebook, pretends to be finishing a thought, but really he's just waiting for the room to empty so he doesn't have to walk out with anyone. Doesn't have to make small talk or read faces for traces of judgment about what just happened. When the room is finally clear, he closes his notebook, stands, and walks back to his desk on the 5th floor. The elevator ride is 40 seconds of fluorescent silence, and he spends it staring at the brushed metal panel above the buttons, seeing his face reflected back, distorted and dim. He looks like he's been rubbed out, like someone tried to erase him but left a smudge. His desk is in an open floor plan, rows of identical workstations separated by low dividers that create the illusion of privacy without actually providing any. He sits down, opens his laptop, and stares at the screen. His email inbox shows 32 unread messages. There's a Slack notification blinking in the corner. Someone has tagged him in a thread about the engagement report. He doesn't open it. He just stares at the notification, feeling the weight of it, wondering if it's support or criticism, wondering if people are talking about what happened in the meeting, wondering if his reputation is being revised in real time across 15 different internal narratives. This is what the oscillation feels like when it's no longer abstract. It's not a philosophical concept about judgment. It's a physical sensation in his chest, a tightness that won't release, a constant low-grade hum of anxiety that sounds like, "Did I handle that right? Should I have said something different? Do they think I'm incompetent? Should I send a follow-up email? Would that make it worse? Should I just let it go? Is letting it go the same as admitting I was wrong?" The questions don't have answers. They just generate more questions. And Caleb realizes, sitting there at his desk with the afternoon light slanting through the windows and casting long shadows across the rows of people typing and talking and pretending to be certain that he's been living like this for years. This isn't new. The meeting just made it visible. He's been oscillating his entire adult life. In relationships, he's the person who can't decide if he's happy or settling, if he should stay or leave, if the problem is his partner or himself. He changes his position based on who he's talking to. If he's with his friends, he complains about the relationship and they nod sympathetically, and he feels justified. If he's with his partner, he softens, apologizes, promises to try harder. But neither position is stable. Neither one is true. They're both just reactions to the energy in the room, adjustments made in real time to match the prevailing opinion. At work, he's the person who agrees with his manager in one meeting and then agrees with his colleagues' opposing view in the next meeting, not because he's trying to be dishonest, but because he genuinely doesn't know what he thinks until someone else says it first. He needs the external voice to give him shape. Without it, he's just formless potential, capable of being anything, which means he's nothing. In his own mind, late at night when he can't sleep, he oscillates between self-criticism and self-justification, between thinking he's doing fine and thinking he's completely lost, between feeling like he's on the verge of a breakthrough and feeling like he's wasted the last decade. He doesn't have a stable self-assessment. He has a collection of temporary verdicts, each one dependent on his mood, his energy level, the last conversation he had, the last article he read, the last Instagram post that made him feel inadequate or inspired. And the exhausting part, the part that's wearing him down, is that he knows this about himself. He's not blind to the pattern. He can see it clearly. But knowing it doesn't stop it. Because the knowledge is just another voice in the crowd, just another opinion competing for authority. And when the room gets loud, knowledge gets drowned out by feeling. And feeling is always louder. Feeling is always more immediate. Feeling is what he trusts, even though feeling is what keeps betraying him. By 5:30 p.m., Caleb has drafted 3 different emails to Jennifer and deleted all of them. The first one was defensive, just wanted to clarify that the dashboard metrics are updated automatically from the data warehouse. And at the time I pulled the report, the numbers reflected 15%. I followed standard protocol and wasn't aware the final accounting numbers would differ. Going forward, I'll add an additional verification step, but I wanted to make sure it's clear that the process I followed was consistent with team guidelines. He read it over twice, and it sounded like he was making excuses, like he was trying to shift blame to the system, to the protocol, to anything but himself. He imagined Jennifer reading it and thinking he was petty, defensive, unable to take responsibility. So he deleted it. The second one was apologetic. I wanted to follow up on the discrepancy we discussed in the meeting. I take full responsibility for not verifying the source data before including it in the report. I should have been more thorough, and I'll make sure this doesn't happen again. I appreciate your patience and your feedback. He read this one over 3 times. It sounded sincere, humble, but then he started wondering if it sounded too apologetic, like he was groveling, like he was so desperate for approval that he'd take ownership of something that maybe wasn't entirely his fault. Would it make him look weak? Would it invite more scrutiny? Would people see him as someone who folds under pressure, someone who can't stand behind his work? He sat with the cursor hovering over the send button for 2 full minutes, paralyzed by the competing interpretations of what this email would mean. And then he deleted it. The third one tried to split the difference. Thanks for pointing out the discrepancy in today's meeting. I've reviewed the data pipeline and identified where the preliminary numbers diverged from the final accounting figures. I've updated the report with the verified data and added a note in our documentation about cross-checking with accounting before finalization. Let me know if you'd like me to walk through the revised numbers. This one felt professional, balanced. It acknowledged the issue without being defensive, offered a solution without being obsequious. But as soon as he finished writing it, a new wave of doubt arrived. Was he over-explaining? Did this make him look like he was trying too hard to save face? Would Jennifer even care about the technical details? Or would she just see this as him trying to justify himself with complexity? And worse, what if she didn't respond? What if she just read it and said nothing, leaving him to interpret the silence as either approval or dismissal or indifference, leaving him to oscillate through all three possibilities for the next week? So he deleted that one too. And now he's sitting at his desk with a blank draft open, that cursor blinking in the empty white space, and he realizes the problem isn't what to say. The problem is that he has no idea what the right thing to say is because he has no stable ground to stand on. Every possible response feels both correct and incorrect, depending on which angle he views it from, which voice he imagines reading it, which version of himself he's trying to project. This is what Seneca meant by wavering. This is the state of alternately rejecting and accepting things. Caleb isn't indecisive because he lacks options. He's indecisive because he lacks a principle by which to choose between options. He's trying to reverse engineer the correct response by imagining every possible reaction it might provoke. And since those reactions are infinite and contradictory, he's trapped in an endless loop of simulation. He's trying to be all things to all possible audiences, and the result is that he's nothing to anyone, least of all himself. He closes the email draft without saving it, shuts his laptop, sits in the dimming light of the office as people around him pack up and leave. The floor is emptying out. The hum of conversation is fading. The shadows are getting longer, and Caleb is still sitting there, still turning it over, still trying to figure out what he should have done, what he should do now, what version of himself he's supposed to be. By 8 p.m., Caleb is at a bar 3 blocks from his apartment, sitting at the corner of the counter with a beer he's been nursing for 40 minutes. The place is half full, dim lighting, brick walls, the kind of neighborhood spot where people come alone and no one asks questions. There's a basketball game on the TV above the bar, but Caleb isn't watching it. He's just staring at the amber liquid in his glass, watching the condensation slide down the side, feeling the cold weight of it in his hand. His phone is face down on the bar next to him. He hasn't checked it in 20 minutes, which is unusual for him. Normally, he's compulsively refreshing emails, Slack, text messages, looking for signals, looking for updates, looking for some indication of how he's being perceived. But right now, he can't bring himself to look, because he knows what he'll find, either nothing, which will feel like abandonment, or something which will require him to interpret it, to figure out what it means, to adjust his position accordingly. He's tired. Not physically tired, though he is that too, but tired in a deeper way. Tired of the constant negotiation. Tired of trying to hold multiple contradictory positions simultaneously. Tired of feeling like he's always one conversation away from being exposed as someone who doesn't actually know what he believes. A woman sits down 2 stools over and orders a glass of wine. She's wearing a blazer and looks like she just got off work. She pulls out her phone, scrolls for a minute, then puts it away, and just sits there, looking at the rows of bottles behind the bar. She looks tired too, but in a different way. She looks like someone who's made a decision and is living with it, for better or worse. She looks settled. Not happy necessarily, but settled. Caleb wonders what that feels like. To be settled. To have a position and hold it without constantly checking to see if it's still valid, still defensible, still approved by the room. He thinks about his ex-girlfriend, Maya, who left him 8 months ago. Not dramatically, not with a fight or an ultimatum. She just sat him down one evening and said, very calmly, "I don't think you know what you want, and I can't keep being the person you test your positions against. I need someone who knows themselves." At the time, he thought she was being unfair. He thought she was making it sound worse than it was. But sitting here now, he realizes she was exactly right. He'd been using her as a testing ground for different versions of himself. He'd try on an opinion, watch her reaction, adjust. He'd express a feeling, gauge her response, recalibrate. He thought he was being responsive, adaptive, considerate. But what he was actually doing was outsourcing his identity. He was letting her face tell him who he was. And when her face stopped giving him clear signals, when she got frustrated or distant or exhausted, he panicked. Because without her reflection, he didn't know what shape to take. She tried to tell him this multiple times. She said, "I feel like I'm dating a different person depending on who we're with or what we're talking about. I don't know which version is real." And he got defensive. He said she was overthinking it, that people contain multitudes, that he was just being flexible. But she wasn't wrong. The versions weren't multitudes. They were oscillations. He wasn't complex. He was unstable. And the reason it ended wasn't because she stopped loving him. It was because she couldn't find anything stable enough to love. She couldn't attach herself to someone who kept shifting shape based on the last voice he heard. It was like trying to hold water. Eventually, she just got tired and let go. Caleb takes a drink. The beer is warm now, almost flat. He should order another one or leave, but he doesn't move. He just sits there, feeling the weight of the pattern, feeling the accumulated cost of years spent deferring to popular opinion, to the room's temperature, to everyone's judgment except his own. Because here's the thing, he doesn't have his own judgment. Not really. He has reactions. He has preferences that shift with context. He has a sophisticated ability to argue multiple sides of any position, but he doesn't have a center. He doesn't have a principle that holds steady when the winds shift. He's like a structure built without a foundation tall, maybe even impressive from certain angles, but ultimately incapable of bearing weight. The first real pressure, the first real test, and he collapses inward. The meeting was just one example, but the pattern is everywhere. In every relationship, every job, every major decision, every moment where he's asked to take a stand. He doesn't take stands. He takes provisional positions pending approval. And provisional positions don't hold. They bend. They break. They dissolve. By 10 p.m., Caleb is back in his apartment, lying on his couch in the dark with the TV on mute, blue light flickering across the ceiling. His phone is on the coffee table, screen dark. He still hasn't checked his messages. He's afraid of what he'll find, not because it will be bad necessarily, but because it will require interpretation, and interpretation requires a stable point of view, and he doesn't have one. This is what the oscillation does to you over time. It doesn't just exhaust you, it erodes you. It takes away your ability to trust your own perception. Because if your judgment is always contingent on external validation, then you never develop the muscle of internal discernment. You never learn to feel the difference between truth and performance, between what you actually believe and what you think you're supposed to believe. And without that muscle, everything becomes uncertain. Not just the big things, career decisions, relationship choices, but the small things too. What to eat for dinner, what to wear, what to say in casual conversation. Because every choice, no matter how minor, becomes a potential site of judgment, and judgment means risk, and risk means the possibility of getting it wrong, of looking foolish, of being exposed as someone who doesn't know what they're doing. So you start avoiding choices altogether. You defer. You equivocate. You say, I don't know, or whatever you think, or I'm fine with anything. Not because you're genuinely indifferent, but because committing to a position feels dangerous. Because commitment means visibility, and visibility means vulnerability. And vulnerability means the possibility that someone, somewhere, will look at you and decide you're wrong. Caleb can trace this pattern back years, maybe decades. He doesn't remember when it started, probably childhood, probably some moment when he learned that having the wrong opinion got him excluded, or mocked or dismissed. And he decided then that the safest strategy was to have no fixed opinions at all, to remain fluid, adaptable, capable of shifting to match whatever the situation required. And for a while, it worked. It got him through school. It got him through early jobs. It made him likable, easy to work with, non-threatening. People appreciated his flexibility, his willingness to consider multiple perspectives, his lack of rigid ideology. But somewhere along the way, the strategy stopped being strategic and started being structural. It wasn't a tool he used. It was who he became, and now he can't turn it off. He can't find the solid ground beneath all the shifting positions. He's looked, he's tried, but every time he thinks he's found something stable, a belief, a value, a principle, someone questions it, or circumstances change, or he reads something that contradicts it, and suddenly he's not sure anymore. Suddenly he's back in the oscillation, weighing evidence, polling his internal committee of imagined judges, trying to figure out what the right answer is. But here's what he's starting to understand. Lying there in the dark with the muted TV casting shadows across his apartment, the right answer isn't out there. It's never been out there. The room doesn't have it. Popular opinion doesn't have it. Jennifer doesn't have it. His ex-girlfriend didn't have it. No one has it, because the right answer implies there's an objective truth that can be verified by consensus. But most of the things that matter, how to live, what to value, how to respond to criticism, how to assess your own work, how to know when to stand firm, and when to adjust, these things can't be solved by polling the audience. They require something else, something internal, something that doesn't shift when the wind changes. Seneca called it an unwavering and firm power of judgment. Not perfect judgment, not infallible judgment, but constant judgment. Judgment based on principles that have been tested and found reliable. Judgment that doesn't depend on the mood of the room or the approval of the crowd. Judgment that says, I've thought about this. I've examined it from multiple angles. I've considered the alternatives. And this is what I believe to be true, regardless of who agrees or disagrees. And here's the hard part. Developing that kind of judgment requires accepting that you're going to be wrong sometimes. You're going to take a position, hold it firmly, and then discover later that you were mistaken. And when that happens, you can't dissolve into oscillation again. You have to update your judgment and move forward. You have to say, I was wrong about that. Here's what I understand now. And then you have to hold that new position with the same firmness you held the old one, knowing that it too might need revision later, but not letting the possibility of future revision prevent you from having a position now. This is what Caleb hasn't learned yet. He's so afraid of being wrong that he refuses to be anything. He thinks uncertainty is wisdom, but it's not. It's cowardice dressed up as open-mindedness. Real wisdom is being willing to take a position, knowing it might be wrong, holding it firmly while remaining open to evidence, and adjusting when necessary without collapsing into self-doubt or vindication. It's having the courage to be specific, to be something, even when being something means being vulnerable to criticism. But Caleb isn't there yet. He's still lying on the couch, still replaying the meeting, still wondering what he should have said, still spinning through alternate scenarios, still waiting for some external signal to tell him whether he handled it right or wrong, still lost in the oscillation, still dependent on the most untrustworthy of guides. The TV flickers, the room is dark, and Caleb closes his eyes, exhausted, wondering how much longer he can live like this, wondering if there's a way out, wondering if the peace he's looking for even exists, or if it's just another illusion, another position he'll adopt temporarily and then abandon when the room shifts. But the answer isn't out there in the room. It never was. And until he understands that really understands it, not just intellectually but viscerally, he'll keep spinning. He'll keep wavering. He'll keep depending on popular opinion. And popular opinion will keep betraying him over and over, because it was never designed to carry the weight of a human life. It was never meant to be a foundation. It's just noise, and noise can't hold anyone. 3 days pass before Caleb realizes he's stopped checking his phone every 5 minutes. It's not a conscious decision. He doesn't wake up one morning and declare he's going to be different. It's more subtle than that. He's sitting at his desk on Thursday afternoon, working through a data reconciliation report, and he notices that he's been focused for 27 minutes straight, without once glancing at Slack, without once refreshing his email, without once wondering what people are thinking about him. And the realization itself is so surprising that it almost breaks his concentration. The fact that he wasn't thinking about being watched, wasn't performing for an invisible audience, wasn't running his internal simulation of how this work will be received. Something has shifted. Not dramatically, not completely, but enough that he can feel the difference. It started Tuesday night, after he finally fell asleep on the couch around midnight. He woke up Wednesday morning with a stiff neck and the TV still playing infomercials, and his first thought wasn't about the meeting or the email he never sent. His first thought was, I'm exhausted from caring what they think. Not I should stop caring. Not I wish I didn't care. Just the simple recognition. Caring about their opinion is exhausting me, and I've been exhausted for years, and I don't have to keep doing this. He got up, made coffee, and sat at his kitchen table with his notebook. Not his work notebook, the one he keeps at home, the one he uses for thoughts that don't have a professional purpose. And he wrote one sentence at the top of a blank page. What do I actually believe about what happened in the meeting? Not, what should I believe? Not, what would make me look good? Not, what would Jennifer think, or his colleagues think, or his ex-girlfriend think? Just, what do I actually believe? And then he sat there for 10 minutes, pen hovering over the page, because the question was harder than it sounded. He'd spent so long modeling other people's perspectives that he'd forgotten how to access his own. He'd become so skilled at empathy, at understanding how others might see a situation, that he'd lost the ability to see it himself, unmediated, unfiltered, independent of all the voices. But he stayed with the question, and slowly, carefully, like someone learning to walk after an injury, he started writing. I believe I should have checked the final accounting numbers before including them in the report. That's not about blame or excuse. It's just true. The dashboard showed preliminary data, and I treated it as final. That was a mistake in judgment, not a moral failing, but it was still a mistake. I believe Jennifer's feedback was accurate and appropriate. She didn't attack me. She pointed out a discrepancy in front of the team because it affects the team's credibility. That's her job. My defensiveness was about my own insecurity, not about her delivery. I believe I'm competent at my work. I've made a mistake, but I've also done good work. This one error doesn't define my entire value. I can acknowledge what went wrong and learn from it without spiraling into self-doubt or needing someone to tell me I'm still okay. He looked at what he'd written, read it over twice, and the interesting thing was it felt true. Not true in the sense of being perfectly correct. He might be wrong about some of it, might revise his thinking later, but true in the sense of being his judgment, his assessment, based on what he knew, what he'd observed, what made sense to him when he filtered out all the imagined reactions and just looked at the facts. And once he had that, once he'd written down what he actually believed, something loosened in his chest. The oscillation slowed, not because he'd found the perfect answer, or because he'd suddenly become immune to doubt, but because he'd taken a position, he'd staked ground. He'd said, this is what I think, based on what I know right now, and that was enough. It didn't need to be validated by 15 people in a conference room. It just needed to be honest. Wednesday at work, he didn't send an email to Jennifer. Not because he was avoiding it, but because he realized he didn't need to. The meeting was over. The feedback had been given. His job now wasn't to manage everyone's perception of what happened. It was to integrate the feedback and do better work. So he updated his process documentation, added a verification step for preliminary data, and moved on. And when a colleague mentioned the meeting in passing, asking if he was okay, Caleb said simply, yeah, I made a mistake with the data source. I've fixed the process. And then the conversation moved on, because it turned out that most people weren't as interested in dissecting his error as he'd imagined. They had their own work, their own concerns, their own mistakes to manage. Now, Thursday afternoon, sitting at his desk and realizing he's been working for 27 minutes without monitoring himself. Caleb understands something he couldn't have understood 3 days ago. Peace isn't the absence of criticism. It's not the achievement of universal approval. It's not the state where everyone agrees you're right and no one questions your judgment. Peace is what happens when you develop a judgment you can trust more than you trust the room's reaction. When you can receive feedback without it destabilizing your entire sense of self. When you can be wrong about something without it meaning you're wrong about everything. When you can sit in uncertainty without collapsing into oscillation. Friday evening, Caleb meets his friend, David, for dinner at a Thai place near his apartment. They've known each other since college, and David is one of the few people Caleb doesn't feel like he has to perform for, or at least he used to not feel that way. Lately, even with David, Caleb has noticed himself testing positions, gauging reactions, adjusting his presentation based on what seems to land. They order pad thai for Caleb, green curry for David, and David asks how work is going. And Caleb feels the familiar impulse rise, the urge to craft a narrative, to shape the story of the meeting into something that makes him look good or sympathetic or appropriately self-aware. But instead, he just tells it straight. I made a mistake in a report last week, he says. Used preliminary data instead of verified numbers. Got called out in a meeting in front of the team. It was uncomfortable. I spent 3 days afterward replaying it and trying to figure out if I handled it right. Then I realized I was asking the wrong question. David nods, chewing. What was the right question? Whether I learned from it, Caleb says. Not whether I looked good. Not whether people think less of me. Just, did I understand what went wrong and fix it? And did you? Yeah, Caleb says. I updated the process. It won't happen again. David takes a drink of water, sets the glass down carefully. You seem different. Different how? Less, David pauses, searching for the word. Less like you're auditioning. You usually tell stories like you're trying to control how I'm going to react to them. This time you just told me what happened. Caleb sits with that for a moment. He's not offended. David's right. He has been auditioning, even with his oldest friend, using conversations as rehearsals for different versions of himself, testing which one gets the most validation. And the exhausting part was that at work people did validate him, did tell him he was right or justified or doing his best. But the validation never lasted, because it was based on a performance, not on truth. And performances require constant maintenance. I've been doing that for a long time, Caleb says. With everyone. I've been so focused on making sure people see me the right way that I haven't spent much time figuring out who I actually am when no one's looking. And who are you when no one's looking? David asks. Caleb thinks about it. I don't know yet, he says, but I'm starting to figure it out. And it turns out the answer isn't as fragile as I thought it would be. It doesn't change every time someone disagrees with me. They eat in silence for a minute. The restaurant is crowded, full of Friday evening noise conversations, laughter, the clatter of dishes. But Caleb doesn't feel the need to fill the silence. He's not monitoring David's face for signs of approval or judgment. He's just sitting with his friend eating food, having a conversation that doesn't require him to be anything other than present. Later, walking home through his neighborhood, Caleb notices the way the streetlights cast shadows on the sidewalk, the way the air smells like rain even though it hasn't rained yet, the way the city feels different at night, quieter, more honest, less performed. And he realizes this is what stability feels like. Not certainty, not the absence of doubt, just the ability to exist in the world without constantly measuring himself against it. The ability to have a position, hold it, adjust it when necessary, and not collapse into existential crisis every time someone questions it. He thinks about Seneca's words, "Tranquility can't be grasped except by those who have attained an unwavering and firm power of judgment." And he understands now that unwavering doesn't mean rigid. It doesn't mean refusing to change your mind or adapt to new information. It means having a center that doesn't dissolve every time the wind shifts. It means knowing what you believe based on what you've tested and found reliable, not based on who's in the room or what they might think. And the interesting thing, the thing he wouldn't have predicted, is that developing this kind of judgment doesn't make him less open to feedback. It makes him more open, because when you're not terrified that criticism will destroy you, you can actually listen to it. You can assess it objectively. Is this accurate? Is this useful? Does this align with what I know to be true? And if the answer is yes, you can integrate it. And if the answer is no, you can set it aside without needing to defend yourself or prove the critic wrong. You can just say, "I've considered that perspective, and it doesn't match what I've observed," and then move forward. This is what the oscillation prevented: genuine discernment. Because when you're constantly shifting to match popular opinion, you can't distinguish between good feedback and bad feedback, between criticism that helps and criticism that distracts. You just absorb everything, let it all in, let it all change you. And the result is that you become a composite of everyone's opinions with no core of your own. 2 weeks later, there's another meeting. Same conference room, same 15 people, same fluorescent lights and fake wood tables. Caleb has prepared a revised report on engagement metrics, this time with verified numbers from accounting, cross-referenced with 3 separate DD sources, documented with a clear methodology note. Jennifer asks him to present it. And this time, when Caleb stands up and walks to the front of the room and pulls up his slides, he notices something. He's not scanning faces for approval. He's not running internal simulations of how they might react. He's just presenting the work he's done, the data he's verified, the conclusions he's drawn based on evidence. Someone asks a question not hostile, just clarifying, and Caleb answers it directly without hedging or over-explaining. Someone else pushes back on one of his interpretations, suggests an alternative way of reading the data, and Caleb considers it, genuinely considers it, and then says, "That's a valid perspective. I looked at it that way initially, but when I factored in the seasonal variation from Q2, the pattern held. I'm open to revisiting it if new data suggests otherwise." The meeting continues. His report is accepted. No one applauds, but no one challenges it either. It's just work, solid work, defensible work, work that stands on its own merit without requiring him to perform confidence or apologize for uncertainty. And when he sits back down and closes his laptop, he feels something he hasn't felt in years: calm. Not the calm of having been praised, not the calm of having escaped criticism, just the calm of having done the work honestly, presented it clearly, and stood behind it without needing everyone in the room to agree. The calm of having a judgment he trusts more than he trusts the room's temperature. After the meeting, Jennifer stops him in the hallway. "Good work," she says. The revised report was thorough. "Thanks," Caleb says. And then, because it feels true, he adds, "The feedback you gave 2 weeks ago was useful. It made me slow down and verify my sources instead of trusting the first numbers I saw." Jennifer nods. "That's all it was meant to do," she says. "Make sure we're working with solid information." And that's it. The conversation ends. She walks away, and Caleb realizes that his catastrophic imagining of what that feedback meant, the shame, the judgment, the potential career damage, was almost entirely self-generated. Jennifer had delivered a professional correction in a professional context, and he'd turned it into an existential referendum on his worth. Not because she'd been cruel or unfair, but because he'd had no stable judgment of his own to anchor him. So he'd spun through every possible interpretation, trying to figure out which one the room wanted him to adopt. But he doesn't need the room anymore. Not in the same way. He still cares what people think. He's not a sociopath. He still values relationships and reputation and doing good work. But he's no longer dependent on what people think. He's no longer outsourcing his entire sense of self to the collective verdict. He has a judgment. It's not perfect. It's not infallible, but it's his. And it's based on principles he's tested. Honesty, thoroughness, willingness to acknowledge mistakes, willingness to learn, willingness to stand behind his work without collapsing under scrutiny. That night, lying in bed, Caleb thinks about Maya. He wonders if she's doing well. He wonders if she ever thinks about him. And he realizes that if they were still together now, it would be different. Not because she would be different, but because he'd be someone she could actually know, someone with a consistent shape, someone who didn't change positions every time the emotional weather shifted. He'd be someone capable of being loved, because he'd be someone who actually existed beyond the reflections in other people's faces. He thinks about texting her, then decides against it. Not because he's afraid of how she'd respond, but because there's nothing he needs from her response. The work he's doing isn't about winning her back or proving he's changed. It's about becoming someone he can live with, someone who doesn't exhaust himself with constant oscillation, someone who can hold steady. Seneca wrote that tranquility can't be grasped by those who constantly shift in their decisions, wavering between rejection and acceptance. And the reason is simple. If your judgment has no foundation, if you're building on the unstable ground of popular opinion, then every voice that passes by will knock you off balance. You'll spend your entire life adjusting, revising, second-guessing, never quite landing, never quite sure. But here's what Seneca also knew. Developing a constant and firm power of judgment isn't about becoming rigid. It's not about refusing to change or adapt or grow. It's about having a center that doesn't dissolve when challenged. It's about being willing to take a position based on what you know, hold it with confidence, and adjust it when new evidence appears without collapsing into self-doubt or defensiveness. This requires something most people never develop, the courage to be specific. The courage to say this is what I believe, knowing that some people will disagree. The courage to make decisions knowing you might be wrong. The courage to stand behind your work knowing It's not perfect. The courage to exist as a defined thing rather than as formless potential that could become whatever the room requires. And it requires accepting that you will be criticized. People will question your judgment. They'll offer alternative perspectives. They'll point out mistakes. And when that happens, you can't let it destabilize your entire sense of self. You have to be able to receive it, assess it, integrate what's useful, and discard what isn't without needing to poll the room for permission to have an opinion about the criticism itself. This is what creates tranquility, not agreement, not validation, not the absence of challenge, just a judgment you can trust, a center that holds, a foundation that doesn't shift every time someone raises an eyebrow. Caleb is learning this now. He's not there, yet it's not a switch you flip. It's a muscle you build over years of practice. What he started. He stopped measuring himself by the room's temperature. He stopped waiting for unanimous approval before he allows himself to believe something. He's developing the ability to look at a situation, assess it based on principles he's tested, and take a position knowing it might be wrong, knowing he might need to revise it, but willing to be wrong rather than to be nothing. And the peace that comes from this isn't dramatic. It's not euphoric. It's just steady. It's the feeling of not collapsing every time someone disagrees. It's the ability to sleep at night without replaying every conversation, searching for signs of judgment. It's the freedom to have a bad day at work without it meaning you're a failure. It's the capacity to make a mistake without it destroying your entire self-concept. It's the quiet confidence of someone who knows what they believe, who's tested those beliefs against reality, and who's willing to hold them firmly while remaining open to evidence. It's the peace of someone who's no longer dependent on the most untrustworthy of guides. Popular opinion will always be there. The room will always have reactions. People will always have perspectives, judgments, criticisms, advice. But you don't have to let any of it define you. You can listen, consider, integrate what's useful, and move forward based on a judgment you've built yourself. A judgment that doesn't shift every time the wind changes. This is what it means to have a constant and firm power of judgment. Not to be right always. Not to be immune to doubt. Just to have a center, a foundation, a self that exists independent of the verdict of others, a position you can stand on even when standing there means standing alone. The path forward isn't obvious. It's not marked. There are no steps to follow, no formula to guarantee tranquility. But there is a direction, inward, toward the kind of judgment that doesn't depend on external validation, toward the kind of peace that comes from knowing yourself well enough to trust your own assessment more than you trust the room's opinion. It requires practice. It requires honesty. It requires being willing to be wrong sometimes, to be specific rather than formless, to stand behind something, knowing that standing means being visible, and visibility means risk. But the alternative, the constant oscillation, the endless adjustment, the exhausting performance, that risk is greater. That risk is the slow erosion of self, the gradual disappearance into the composite of everyone else's certainties while your own dissolves.